Namato Ratanatayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening. So today is Tuesday, the 18th of August 2020, and this is Achan Sujan from Varapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen. So as usual, I'm here with you all. Hi Margaret, hi Manish, Karina, and everyone. Good evening. So it's another misty day at the center, but I realized when I was in the city, it was so hot. And my head is still feeling hot. I wonder how this happened. By the time when I arrived at the center, I feel much better and feeling like more refreshed. But the city is really hot, feeling really hot. So this is me again. Enjoy those who are living in the city, right? The hot weather. Maybe the only memories in a few minutes, a few days later. So winter is creeping in. So today again we are on the same ongoing talk based on the first discourse that the Buddha gave at the Isipatana Mirgadayavan in Saranath as the foundation of Buddhist teachings or the philosophy. And so far we have been talking on different aspects of Eightfold Noble Path, or 8 factors. So far I have spoken 2 factors. The first, the Samma Ditti, the right attitude or right understanding, and the Samma Sankappa, the right thought. And it's been about 4 or 5 days we are focusing on the third factor, that's Samma Vacha. So previously 2 nights I was talking about the lying and white lies. So within the Samma Vacha there are 4 components, and then I was able to discuss and speak to you about the first components, that's the lying. And the second is Pisunaya Vachaya, and this is known as the slander. Slander. Before I go into my notes, I would like to read out from the scripture itself what the scripture says about the slander. So the scripture from the Digha Nikaya, it says that he avoids a slanderous speech and abstains from it. What he has heard here, he does not repeat there, so as to cause this dissension there, and what he has heard there he does not repeat here, so as to cause a dissension here. Thus he unites those that are divided, and those that are united he encourages. Concords, gladdens him. He delights and rejoices in concord, and it's concords that he spreads by his words. So this is the word by the Buddha, and this is from the Digha Nikaya. The Buddha spoke about this. And obviously slander speech, famously known as a gossips. So slander speech is like intended to create enmity and division, and also basically divide one group to the another, or basically it's like alienating one person or a group from another. And this is why the main reason behind of this creating this slander speeches. And now this is, we can hear or we can experience from so many other places, and everyone, I believe, have experienced such things and probably have done in one way or another in order to gain fame or favor or the affection. And this is again, sometimes people will cause this slander just to get the favor of oneself. And in a community, doesn't matter which community we are in, we see this everywhere. When I was in Indian community about 15 years ago in Wolverhampton, working with the Punjab Buddhist Society and all the Ambedkarites, the Buddhists. And that time, people began to become closer to me, and there were also some Thai people began to come to the center. And because of the number of Thai people were so small, they were very kind and they were very laughing and not caring too much. So the Indian people thought that, oh, Thai people are so kind and they do not gossip about other people. They do not create slander speeches, or they have no enmity or a sense of a division. Whereas in Indian community we have so much. I wish I am not belong to this community. So that was their response. And then later on, when I went to stay in a Thai temple, as I was requested to come and help, and gradually in the community of the Thai people, whenever there are events, there are about 1,000 people come to join. And over the period of living with them, I come across there are so many these slander speeches. And then meanwhile, they having known that some Indian people and those who come to the temple, and because of the number they are very small, and they thought Indian communities are so kind, they do not have those slanders and they do not have this enmity or division or alienating speeches at all. Wish our community is also like that, right? And then later on, I come across with the Sri Lankans and even Western groups, Western people. They all think that wish I am not in this community but another community. So this is like a green grass other side of the river. We always see other people, others are better than our own, because our community has got so much gossips, so much slanders, and so much fighting to one another by words, creating creating divisions after divisions. One day they were together, and a few weeks later they are divided. Particularly since we established the center, I am becoming like a central point that where I will hear so many gossips. So it's like a gossip center. So I need to be very careful that who is saying what. It's like being a real politician, that what is unsaid by which group, right? And I do see so many people that because of this slanderous speeches, and they basically they do not want to come to the temple because of other people is there, or other person or other groups are there. And so generally they will call and ask or inquire at the center, saying that who else coming? Is he or is she coming? And then I will not come. And sometimes, having known that someone they will be at the center, or let's say a people that you don't like will be at the temple, then they will simply say, "Oh, I'm very busy, I will not come." But I will come rather the day when nobody comes. So like that, and with this, sometimes that reflect, that help, and that makes me think that because of the slanderous words or the gossips, they become they like divided by themselves, and with that division, they are going further away from getting from coming to the center, and what the benefit they're supposed to be getting are not getting, right? Let's say the event, now we are going to have this event, the Katina ceremony, on the 4th of October, and now a group of people will think that, this group or that person will be at the center on that event, and now I'm not going, but I will go next day, or before that day I will come and help Achan, like that. But exact day when is the Katina ceremony, which is supposed to be greatest day that we come together and then perform meritorious deed together and doing this religious things together, and with that it's a communal great merit that we all jointly create, like that. And this I have seen a lot here at the center too. But I'm not saying that you're all wrong, and not saying that you're all right either. I'm just telling that do not take personally what's going on, okay? And then do not harbor those slanderous words or gossips to prevent you coming to the center and performing a meritorious deeds or learning the teachings and practicing a meditation. Okay, so when you come to the temple, despite someone who you don't like, it's okay. You need to develop your kindness. You need to develop the cohesiveness, and this is the ground that you test your ability, test your patience, test your kindness, and this is the time that you will check your meditation, how much you are aware of your own emotions, and how can you eliminate that emotion, negative emotion, to the positive, and building this friendship. Okay, so that I think we need to be very mindful of. Otherwise, what happens is that sometimes there may not be any truth, there may not be any facts, but however, you have heard about that person that he has said so, and now you believe that, and then you go on with that thought that that person doesn't like me, and so I don't want to go to the temple, and I don't want to go to associate with this group. But other time that fact may not be the truth, and purely someone who has said is based on probably sometimes he or she doesn't like that person, and so as a result he or she doesn't want you to associate with that group or that person. So basically, he or she is keeping you with them, and affection or a favor towards them. Another time, simply hate. I hate that person, or I hate those group of people because they are doing more better than me. They are doing greater work than me. They are giving more time than me, and it's like that. And then as a result of that, what happens is the slander begins, and then began to speak with a group or another person that they are not good, they are not better, you shouldn't be associating with them, and so and so. And other times simply because of ignorance, not knowing, but just out of fun, just want to create a division, and just want to create the trouble to someone else, and then that also causes these speeches. And there is also another reason why people do speak these slanderous words, are basically the fear of losing a friend, or fear of losing a favor, or fear of losing their fame and a gain. And in order to protect that, they will create these gossips just to get they are better than someone else, and you should be stick with me. and if you stick with me, then we will be happy. And with that, what happens is the person who is creating, or who is gossiping, or who is speaking in these divisive ways, will be always in trouble, mentally always had a fear that losing or friendship or finding of the truth. Okay? And meanwhile, someone who is believing, again, they also haven't got the clear understanding of what's going on. They haven't got the full the story on that. So this is very serious one, and I normally reflect on this as like whenever there is a third person, try not to speak about the third person in a negative way. Always speak on a positive, with a kindness, and building up the so-called friendshipness and a harmony. And the very moment when we talk the third person in a wrong way, that very moment we are also projecting ourselves that how bad we are. And in another way, we are looking at it as if someone speaks about you negatively, whether it is true or not true, you don't like someone is talking about you. So since you don't like it, they also don't like it too. So with this, what is going on is that we are not speaking in that way, and we're simply avoiding speaking any about the third person whenever we are meeting. And rather than speaking about them in a negative way, we better speak kindly and with kindness and compassion. We speak good things about them and promoting their good works. And that's why it's called a sympathy, and sympathy, and also the kindness. Yeah? So the antidote for the slanderous speech is kindness and sympathy. Obviously, we know that when we are speaking loving kindness, we are speaking in front of us and then behind. And this loving kindness should be practiced in every way, whether we are speaking, whether we are behaving, or whether we are thinking about them. And with that, not only that we are feeling more comfortable and happier, but also those around us can feel that how kind and how compassionate this person is, and they feel this kindness and compassion. In the meanwhile, the sympathy is something that we all have to practice, and actually we have this emotional what's called emotionally how to say we emotionally unable to accept others' success or others' happiness, and others doing better. And as a result of that, what happens is the slanderous words or any other activities takes place in order to diminish or defame or causing a trouble to that person, or alienating that person from the group, that sort of things. But the very moment when we are able to cultivate this inner satisfaction and appreciation and sympathy for someone, then this emotionally creating this division will go away, and we will not be speaking any slanderous words. Yeah, so that's why the antidote for the slanderous speech is basically this kindness, speaking with the kindness and compassion. But obviously, when we look at the result of a slanderous speech, and according to Buddhism, it says that there are serious moral transgressions. The first thing that you already have committed this wrong, and then the consequences when it comes to you, it will be very, very difficult one. Yeah? And that may cause you in a very difficult position, because once people understood the fact that what you have said is wrong, and basically they will not be liking to associate with you, or simply will go far away. Yeah. And that's why it's the karma, the law of karma, so-called, will be more heavy on you with that action of a slander. And in terms of the gain, or the in terms of the benefit of avoiding speaking any gossips or slander speeches, are basically you will get the trust from your friends, or your community, or your whoever colleagues around, and they do believe in you, and then they feel trust, and they normally will come to you for the advice and feel more comfortable, and always liking to be associated with you. And that's how the trust will become more stronger and stronger. And at that moment, the person who is trustworthy and who is also practicing, there is no biasness in his mind and heart, simply because of practicing this truthfulness, then the biasness because of the likeness, or the hate, or ignorance, or whether there's a fearness, he will not be speaking against someone, or creating a division, or making someone feel worthless. He will be always encouraging people to carry on a friendship, and building up a harmony, and carry on doing good things throughout the time. And these are known as the qualities. A person who possesses these qualities are also known as the noble people, or noble friend. And this noble friend is very, very important in the spiritual path. I'm saying in a spiritual path, in fact, it's not just a spiritual path, but in also worldly life, and which I believe you may have seen, or you may have heard, or you may have experienced, that it's very, very difficult to find someone that you really trust, and one who will not be biased on any case, wherever you are. That person is able to accept you the way you are, the way you behave, the way who you are, your capability, your confidence, whatever nature you that person will be able to accept. So it's very, very difficult to find, but the very moment once you found it, you can feel so relaxed, and always wanting to associate with that person, and always you feel that whenever you are close to them, you feel more relaxed and get more knowledge, and you get something out of having a meeting with them, to go on and for solving the problems, like that. So, but in terms of the spiritual growth, or a spiritual practice, these Kalyana Mitas, or noble friends, are really, really important. One who will advise you without any uncovered. He will be, or she will be, happy to guide you, happy to tell you, and also happy to tell you off if necessary. So that person becomes. That's why, if it's possible, just try not to speak of this gossips or slander, and then with that, we are creating friendship and harmony within ourselves, in our family, in our community, like that. So to conclude, that do not expect that other communities are better than ours. From my experience, every community has got the slanders, speech, and the gossips that has created divisions, that had created enmity, that created like a fighting and not wanting to associate, being far away, and like that. I have seen a lot. Meanwhile, I have also seen the people didn't want to come to the center even to practice and do the meritorious deeds or participate in events, despite they really want to come, and they, despite being a Buddhist, still because of that holding of this these thoughts, they are unable to join. Okay? So do not expect anywhere. It's you and we develop this by ourselves. It's not expect to someone to make it better. We have to make it better by practicing friendshipness and harmony. And with this, the enmity and the sense of a division will go away, and we will not be encouraging and speaking this gossips or slanders. Okay, so I end tonight's talk here as a reflection, and if it hits you, then sorry, do not take it personally. This is just a general that I'm saying from my experience, as well as on the basis of what the Buddha said on it. Okay, so thank you everyone for listening, and may this be listening of a Dhamma because for your good and a health successful, and may you be well and happy. In a few moments we will have guided chanting and guided meditation, and you're most welcome to join with us. Meanwhile, tomorrow morning 8 o'clock, David will be leading guided meditation on a VMC support group meditation. You are also welcome to join as well. So until then, see you shortly, or see you tomorrow. Thank you.